The Last Supper and Service. All four Gospels recount the Last Supper that Jesus shared with his disciples before his death. There is a striking similarity between the narrative in Luke's Passion account, chapter 22, verses 14 through 23, and verse 56, and John's Gospel account, chapter 13, verses 1 through 15. Both connect the Last Supper to service. The three synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, center the Last Supper on the gift of the Eucharist. In each, Jesus says, "This is my body," over the bread, and associates the cup of wine with his blood. The Gospel of John does not recount the words that Jesus spoke over the bread and cup. Instead, it presents an action of Jesus over the apostles. He washes their feet. The significance of this action is explained by Jesus himself. "If I, therefore, the Master and Teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash one another's feet. I have given you a model to follow, so that, as I have done for you, you should also do." Those who study John's Gospel have often suggested that although John does not present the institution of the Eucharist, he reveals the meaning of the Eucharist. We who share in the meal that Jesus left us are impelled to serve one another. Matthew and Mark construct their accounts of the Last Supper around the gift of the Eucharist, and John shapes his account around the meaning of the Eucharist. Luke, however, does both. Like Matthew and Mark, Luke offers us Jesus' words over the bread and cup. Like John, he draws out the meaning of Jesus' gift by including a teaching of Jesus in his Last Supper scene. The kings of the Gentiles lord it over them, and those in authority over them are addressed as benefactors. But among you it shall not be so. Rather, let the greatest among you be as the youngest, and the leader as the servant. For who is greater, the one seated at table or the one who serves? It is not the one seated at table. I am among you as the one who serves. Matthew and Mark know this teaching of Jesus, both of them included earlier in their Gospels. Matthew chapter 20, verses 24 through 28, Mark chapter 10, verses 41 through 45. But Luke has specifically placed this at the Last Supper so that it may clarify what the Eucharist is about and mandate to serve each other. The four gospel scenes of the Last Supper pull in the same direction. Taken together, they offer profound appreciation of the Eucharist. We celebrate the inestimable gift of Jesus' real presence to us in the bread and wine, but that gift is incomplete if it does not transform us into a people who serve others, especially the poor, the vulnerable, and the forgotten. For more stories, please visit our website, www.pamphletstoinspire.com.